Hey guys, previously we believe no evidence conclusively placed Jay Slater in Masca on the morning he went missing. However, after reviewing the phone data presented by Detective Chief Inspector Rachel Higson from Lancashire Police's Digital Investigation Unit during the Jay Slater inquest, we have now changed our position based on the data presented. Some incredibly significant details have come to light. DCI Higson provided a thorough digital forensic breakdown based on over 73,000 pages of data retrieved from Jay's iPhone, and it paints a clear, detailed picture of Jay's movements on the morning he went missing in Tenerife. Let's break down exactly why this data is so important and what it means. First, DCI Higson's team used advanced forensic methods, likely employing industry-standard digital forensic tools such as Celebrite or Graykey to comprehensively analyze Jay's phone data. This thorough examination included over 73,000 pages of extracted data, highlighting geolocation details embedded in messages sent from Jay's device, alongside detailed movement logs from the Apple Health app. This wasn't just vague phone tower pings or basic triangulation. This was highly accurate GPS coordinates directly from Jay's iPhone, demonstrating the depth and meticulousness of their analysis. According to this analysis, Jay left his Airbnb in Masca around 7:45 a.m. on June 17, 2024. Starting at precisely 7:59 a.m., the Apple Health app began logging consistent and physically demanding activity. It recorded significant numbers of steps and changes in altitude, indicating that Jay, or whoever had the phone, was actively navigating difficult mountainous terrain. This activity continued steadily until exactly 8:49 a.m., after which there was no further movement recorded. Additionally, at 8:35 a.m., Jay's friend Lucy Law messaged him, showing that his friends were actively trying to reach him as he moved through this challenging environment. Crucially, the digital evidence also indicated Jay himself sent messages containing precise geolocation data around this time frame. The exact coordinates sent by his phone match closely with the terrain around Masca. Here's where things get particularly critical. For Jay's phone to send messages and actively record this geolocation data, it had to be unlocked and actively used. Modern iPhones, including Jay's, typically lock themselves quickly when not in use, especially when battery life is running low. According to DCI Higson, the phone battery was critically low, just 3% at 8:22 a.m., before dropping further to just 1% at 8:52 a.m., mere minutes after the last recorded activity. Given that the phone's screen is by far the biggest battery drain when active and unlocked, it wouldn't have sustained continuous usage without rapidly draining to zero. These conditions suggest strongly that the phone would have locked itself multiple times during the hour of strenuous physical activity logged, requiring repeated unlocks. For comparison, continuous use with the screen remaining active and unlocked would typically drain the battery completely within minutes from such a low percentage. The 30-minute time frame between the battery readings at 3% and 1% indicates intermittent usage and confirms the phone was likely locked and idle for extended periods, rather than continuously active with the screen on. Typically, continuous unlocked usage at such low battery levels, 3% or lower, would result in the phone fully draining in approximately 5 to 10 minutes, further supporting the likelihood of intermittent use. We have independently verified this battery drain pattern, and it's consistent with an iPhone 14 equipped with a 3 to 6-month-old battery being locked and idle between periods of active use. Now, the method of unlocking is essential. If the phone was unlocked via Face ID, which requires Jay's live, conscious face, the forensic logs would explicitly indicate this. Face ID on an iPhone won't unlock with closed eyes or an unconscious face, much less after death. This is a crucial piece of forensic evidence. If the phone repeatedly unlocked using Face ID during this time, it strongly indicates that Jay Slater himself was alive, conscious, and in possession of the phone as he navigated the mountainous terrain. On the other hand, if a passcode was entered manually, forensic logs would also show this distinctly. A manual passcode could theoretically mean someone else had access, But the patterns of consistent physical activity, precise geolocation, matching Jay's expected route, and regular unlocks strongly support the scenario of Jay himself actively using his device. If Lancashire Police conducted their digital forensic investigation thoroughly, as indicated by the extensive data analysis mentioned by DCI Higson, then the presence of Face ID unlock logs would be absolutely pivotal. Yet, intriguingly, this specific point, Face ID versus passcode unlocking, was not explicitly addressed at the inquest. This omission raises important questions. Given the comprehensive digital investigation conducted, we assume that the unlock method was considered, but it wasn't explicitly stated during the inquest. We are now considering reaching out directly to DCI Higson, not to ask for disclosure of any confidential details, but simply to ensure this critical aspect of the investigation was indeed thoroughly examined. Based on Lancashire Police's detailed forensic analysis, the Apple Health data, battery status, and recorded movements unquestionably came from Jay's iPhone itself. While we strongly assume messages containing GPS coordinates also came directly from his phone, the police testimony at the inquest didn't explicitly confirm if other linked devices were conclusively ruled out. Understanding this level of forensic detail helps us piece together a clearer picture of Jay's last moments. It emphasizes the need for transparency in revealing these critical forensic insights publicly, helping Jay's family and everyone following the case understand precisely what happened that tragic morning. It is our belief that, given the detail of digital examination and the fact it was the head of Lancashire Police's Digital Investigation Unit conducting the analysis, we now have to conclude that Jay Slater was indeed in Masca at the time and made that walk or journey from the Masca Airbnb until the moment his phone died. Whilst this conclusion does rule out some theories, it's important to note that it doesn't rule out Jay being forced or coerced, running from and being chased by someone, and also anything that might have happened after his battery died. Speculatively speaking, Jay could have been in communication with someone who was guiding him or had convinced him to take a particular route. Alternatively, he might have realized he was being followed and attempted to evade detection by going off-road, contributing to the erratic pattern of phone usage. Additionally, it's important to highlight that due to the extensive time taken to locate Jay and the significant decomposition noted, we don't believe an exact time of death has been provided. Therefore, any events that might have occurred after his phone battery died remain entirely possible and unaccounted for. None of these scenarios can be fully confirmed or discounted with the data available so far, but they remain plausible possibilities that could explain some elements of his behavior and movements that morning. Thanks for watching, and as always, we look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.